Hey guys, test 29, unbelievable. Let's knock this thing out. Number one says just write the augmented matrix. So just put your coefficients in here, 4, -5. The constant goes over here, 2, 3, 5. And the broken line over the equal sign goes, and there you have it. Number two says solve the system. You've got to show your work here. So let's set up our augmented matrix. I'm going to do what I just did on the last problem. 3, 4, 7, -5, 2, 10. Watch my steps here. It's going to take 3 or 4 matrices to knock this thing out. But what I need to do, when we did things this week, I tried to always circle things I was getting rid of. So I'm going to try to get rid of that -5 first. So I'm thinking, okay, what did 3 and -5 both go into? Well, they both go into 15. So I'm going to multiply the whole top row by 5, make that 15, make that 20, make that 35. And the whole bottom row by 3, which makes that -15, 6, and 30. And what I'm going to do is my top row is not changing until the very end. I'm using it to change my bottom row. So I'm going to add the 15s. I'm adding the yellow numbers. 20 and 6 is 26. 35 and 30 is 65. And now to finish my bottom row, I'm going to divide by 26. 26 goes into 65. Let's say it'd be 65 over 26. I did 26 divided by 26 to get that 1, by the way. 65 by 26 would be 2.5, which I'm going to write as 5 halves. And I have a 3 and a 4 and a 7. Now, believe it or not, I'm really kind of close to being done here. I need now that 4 to go away. So I'm going to multiply the whole bottom row by -4. And if I do 5 halves times -4, you can punch this in your calculator if you want to, but you're going to get -10. So I'm going to add that to my top row. The yellow numbers, 3 plus 0 is 3, -4 and 4, -10 and 7. And then my bottom row is already done. And then to finish up, I'm just going to divide the top row by 3 because I need a 1 right there where that 3 is. So I'm going to go 1, 0, -1, 0, 1, 5 halves. Boom, boom, boom. My answer is -1 and 5 halves for my y. And you can check that by plugging it back in if you want to. Number 3, another one just like that one. I'm going to go a little quicker this time since we just did that first one already. Set up your augmented matrix just like this. Circle what I want to go away. Like I want that 2 right there become a 0. 3 and 2 go into 6. I need 1 6 to be negative. I'm going to multiply the top row by -2, make that -6, -4, -12. Multiply the bottom row by 3. So my 6's will have different signs. And I'm going to add those white numbers. Now the top row again is not changing yet. Bottom row, the 6's are gone. -4, -9 is -13. -12 and -27 is -39. Now the great thing about -39 is 13 goes into it. So I'm dividing the whole bottom row by -13. Top row stays the same. Again, circle what I want to become a 0. I need that to be a 0 right there. Multiplying the whole bottom row by -2 so I can get a 0. When I do that, I add my green numbers to my white numbers on the top. 3 and 1, -2 and 2, -6 and 6. The bottom row's already finished. Don't mess with it. And then to finish up, I'm just going to divide the whole top by 3. 3 divided by 3, 0 divided by anything is still 0. So I get here. And guys, I'm done. My final answer is 0, 3 from right there. All right, let's keep going. Number 4, 5, solve system on your graphing calculator. This is where I'm going to go to matrix and edit and punch in my 3 by 4 numbers. Then I'm going to go to, once I get that, I'm going to go to quit. I'm going to go back to matrix. I'm going to go to math where it says matrix. I'm going to scroll down to RF, hit that, and then come back to matrix and tell it to use matrix A, which is what I'm using. So I'm going to take a second, punch that in. If you get big decimals, I got decimals that time, go ahead and hit math frac, change it to a fraction. And as long as I punch that in right, I got 4/3, 11/3, and 5/3 when I punch that in. All right, now I'm going to punch in the other one the exact same way. So there's 2 of these. You need to make sure you get these. Main thing you got to remember is RF, one of the best buttons on the whole calculator. All right, when I punch that one in, I need math frac one more time because I got it 1 decimal in here. I got 3 halves, -4, and 3. When I first punched in, I got my decimal. I had 1.5, -4, and 3. All right, let's go to number 6. Number 6 says solve this thing. Can't find the same base, so do log both sides. Remember the exponent goes in the front, just like this. To get the x by itself, I don't know why I put an x there. That should be a 3. Sorry about that. Wow. All right, so to get the x by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by log 3. So I'm going to log 25 divided by log 3. Let's punch that straight in. Log 25 divided by log 3. I'm getting 2.9299. Let's go 4 decimal places there. Number 7, you got to use your laws here. It has subtraction. Remember, you can't subtract logs. What you do is you divide. So I'm going to say log of x over x plus 3 equals negative 1. Here's where it gets crazy. It's not written there, but it's really base 10. When you have one log, you do base 10 to that power equals that. So I'm going to say x over x plus 3 equals 10 to the negative 1 power. Now, don't forget what negative 1 exponent means. Negative 1 means you flip it. Okay, so I'm going to x over x plus 3 equals 1/10. And now I get there. I'm going to cross multiply. This way gives me 10x. If I do this way, it's just x plus 3. Move that x over. Gives me 9x equals 3. Divide by your 9. It's 3/9, which is really 1/3. And you can check that also. Oh, you do need to check it. Make sure it doesn't make a log negative. It doesn't. We're good. Number 8, use change of base form. This is what I'm punching in my calculator. I'm doing log 19 divided by log 3. Remember, base goes on the bottom. Make sure you close your parentheses as always. Base goes on the bottom. I'm getting 2.6801. Number 9, didn't give you any room to do number 9. It was a mistake. Hopefully you got room in your test. I don't know why I did that. But number 9 says, given that 4 is a 0, find the other 0. So if 4 is a 0, that means you can plug 4 in the box, and it's guaranteed to work if it truly is a 0, which I don't think I would kid you there. Bring the 1 down. 1 times 4 is 4. Add them up. Multiply. Add them up. Multiply. Sure enough, you get a 0 here. What they really want you to do here is find the other 0. So I'm going to take what's left and solve that. Now, if you want to, that won't factor. So you could do complete the square. You could do x equals negative b plus or minus the square. It's up to you which one you do. I'm going to complete the square because the middle number is even. Anytime I get that situation right there, I always complete the square. So I'm taking half the middle, which is 1, square it, which is also 1, add that to both sides. So I get over here, now I can factor like this. On this side, I get negative 4. Take square to both sides, getting x minus 1 is plus or minus 2i. And then move the 1 over. 1 plus or minus 2i, guys. Those are the other 2 zeros. Okay, so that's number 9. Number 10, what's the domain? Whenever you're working about domain, you're thinking about what can x not be, and this one, x cannot be negative 4. Don't forget we write it in that form. Number 11, the absolute value. 2 bars, 2 answers. 2 bars, 2 answers usually, so I'm going to take number 11. Do not take the absolute value away until you isolate it. So the first thing you need to do is move that 5 over, make it 3. Now set up your 2 bars, 2 answers. X minus 2 is 3, x minus 2 is negative 3. Let's move the 2 over, move the 2 over. There's your 2 answers. Number 12, okay, absolute value. And less than means it's and. Because it's and, you can say the absolute value is less than 12 and greater than negative 12. Let's add 7 to all 3 sides. When you do that, 12 plus 7 is 19. Negative 12 plus 7 is negative 5. I wish you'd write your answer like this in interval notation. Just a little nicer. That's it. Number 13 is greater than, which means I'm going to do or on this one. So I'm going to take what I see, 3 minus 4x, and write that out. Or I'm going to say 3 minus 4x is less than negative 10. All right, so on the left-hand side here, I'm going to move the 3 over. That gives me 7. If I divide by negative 4, you flip the sign, so I get that. Over here, I'm going to move the 3 over. It gives me negative 13. Divide by negative 4, which flips the sign, gives me 13/4. So there's my answer. So my answer truly is everything less than negative 7/4 union everything bigger than 13/4. And there's that one. Last one, number 14. Find the vertex, axis, all the things for this parabola right here. Okay, so to find the vertex, I'm going negative b over 2a. That's going to be my x-coordinates. So I get negative 6 over 2 times 3. That's negative 6 over 6, which is negative 1. So my vertex, which is part A, is going to be negative 1 something. To figure out what it is, I'm going to plug the negative 1 back in there. That would give me this, 3 times negative 1 squared, 6 times negative 1 plus 5. That's going to be 3 minus 6 plus 5, which is 2, by the way. So there's my vertex. That's part A. Part B says find the axis. Don't forget, when you do the axis, you must put x equals, and it always equals the x-coordinate. X equals negative 1. Part C, determine if there's a maximum value and find the value. Because this parabola 3 is positive, it's opening up. because it opens up, it has a minimum, and the minimum value is always the y coordinate of the vertex. And there you have it. You don't have to worry about part D tomorrow or today. So we can stop right there. Hope that helps. Wear this video out. Hope to make 100 tomorrow. See you then.